While I was looking for inspiration for the next video, I came across this site called Steelworks, and the landing page just stopped me in my tracks. It opens with this dark preloader screen, a thin white bar sweeps across the top, and then the whole overlay wipes away to reveal a row of 5 images. They slide in from the left, slightly tilted and scattered like a hand of cards. Then the outer ones fly off to both sides, and the middle image scales up to fill the entire viewport as a full bleed hero background. Once it settles, the nav links and the headlines slide up into view line by line. The whole thing feels cinematic, super smooth and perfectly timed. It's been a while since I covered a landing page reveal like this on the channel, so this felt like the right one to break that streak. With that in mind, I spent some time putting together my own version of it, a similar concept, but built from scratch with my own structure and flow. I used GSAP for the entire animation sequence, split text for the line-by-line text reveals, and custom ease to dial in the exact easing curves that give it that snappy, polished feel. It's purely a load-in animation driven by a single GSAP timeline. In this video, I'll walk you through the entire thing step by step, from setting up the HTML structure, to styling everything with CSS, to wiring up the full animation sequence in JavaScript. Every phase of the intro gets broken down so you can follow along and understand exactly how each piece works. If you'd like to grab the source code for this project, along with hundreds of other micro projects and a brand new website template every single month, check out the Pro membership through the link in the description. And if you find this helpful, a like on the video genuinely helps the channel, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, let's get into the code. First, I'll add a div with the class preloader overlay. This covers the entire screen and acts as the dark curtain that hides everything while the page loads in. Inside it, another div with the class preloader. This is the thin white bar that scales across the screen to simulate a loading animation before the overlay clears out. Next, the nav. I'll split it into 2 blocks. Nav logo on the left and nav items on the right. Inside both, I'll drop in a few links with placeholder labels. Nothing fancy here, just the basic navigation structure. Now for the main section, a section with the class hero. This is where all the action happens, the full screen area that holds both the intro images and the headline content. Inside it, I'll add 5 divs, each with the class intro image, and place an image tag inside every one. These are the 5 photos that start off screen and slide in as part of the opening animation. The middle one, the third image, also gets an extra class, hero image. This is the one that eventually scales up to fill the entire viewport, while the other 4 fly off to the sides. That extra class gives us a hook to target it separately in the animation. Then I'll add a div with the class hero content. This sits on top of the images and holds all the text the user actually reads. Inside it, 2 more wrappers, hero header and hero social. The header holds the main headline and the social block holds the contact info. And that wraps up the HTML. Let's get to styling. First, I'll pull in DM Sans from Google Fonts. That's the only typeface we need for this one. Then a quick global reset, zero out margins, paddings, and set box sizing to border box across everything. On the body, I'll apply DM Sans as the base font. For the typography, I'll set the H1 to white with a lightweight, tight letter spacing, and a snug line height. Links and paragraphs get the same white color and lightweight treatment with text decoration stripped off. And images get the usual full width, full height setup with object fit cover, so they always fill their containers cleanly. Now for the nav, I'll fix it to the top of the page, stretch it across the full width, and use flexbox with space between to push the logo and the links to opposite ends. A higher stacking order keeps it above the hero content. Then for nav items, a simple flex row with a generous gap between each link. Next, the preloader overlay. Fixed positioning, full viewport height, dark background, and the highest stacking order on the page, so it sits above absolutely everything. I'll also set a clip path covering the full area. This is what we'll animate later to wipe the overlay away from the bottom up. Then the preloader bar itself, absolutely positioned at the top of the overlay, full width, thin white strip. It starts with scale X set to 0 and the transform origin on the left, so when we animate scale X to 1, it grows from left to right. I'll add will change transform since this gets animated by GSAP. Moving on to the hero section. Relative positioning, full viewport width and height with overflow hidden so nothing spills out during the image animations. Then the intro image class. Every image wrapper sits absolutely positioned, filling the entire hero section. I'll give them a small border radius, set the transform origin to center, and add will change transform. All 5 of these will be heavily animated during the intro sequence. Now for hero content. Same absolute positioning filling the hero with generous vertical padding, flexbox in column direction with space between pushes the header to the top and the social block to the bottom. A higher stacking order makes sure the text always sits above the images. Then hero header gets a constrained width to keep the headline from stretching too wide on larger screens. Next, the line class. This one gets added dynamically by GSAP's split text. Every line of text that gets split will receive this class. I'll set it to relative positioning and add will change transform since each line will animate upward from its masked position during the reveal. And finally, a quick media query for smaller screens. Below 1000 pixels, the nav items stack vertically and align to the right. The hero content padding tightens up at the bottom and the hero header goes full width so the headline doesn't feel cramped on narrower viewports. Alright, that's all the CSS. Let's get into the JavaScript now. First, I'll bring in everything we need: GSAP, split text for breaking text into animatable lines, and custom ease for defining our own easing curves. Then I'll register both plugins with GSAP. This is a required step, otherwise this simply won't work. Next, I'll create two custom eases. The first one, Hop, has a sharp acceleration and a quick snap at the end. The second one, Glide, is slightly softer but still aggressive. We'll use this for the smooth sliding motions. Both are defined using cubic Bezier values and we'll reference them by name throughout the animation. Then I'll wrap everything inside a DOM content loaded listener. This makes sure the script only runs after the entire HTML has been parsed and is ready to go. Now let's grab our elements and define the base values. I'll select all 5 intro images, then set the scale factor, the gap between each image, and an array of rotation angles, one for each image. These rotations give the images that scattered, slightly tilted look when they first appear on screen. Next, I'll calculate the layout math. First, the scaled width of a single image. That's the viewport width multiplied by the scale factor. Then the total row width, which accounts for all 5 images plus the gaps between them. From that, I'll figure out the center text position, the starting point that places the entire row dead center on screen. And finally, the off-screen X position, which pushes that entire row far to the left, well outside the viewport. This is where the images will start before they slide in. Then I'll loop through each image and calculate 2 positions. The centered X value tells the image exactly where it needs to land to sit in its correct spot within the row. The off-screen X value is that same position but shifted far to the left, completely out of view. I'll use GSAP set to apply the initial state immediately. Each image gets scaled down, pushed to its off-screen position, rotated to its unique angle, and given a rounded border radius. I'll also store the centered X value on the elements dataset so we can grab it later when building the timeline. Next, I'll set up the text splitting. Split text targets the nav links, the hero headline, and the social links, splitting all of them into individual lines. Each line gets the class line and the mask option clips the overflow, which is what allows us to slide text up from behind a hidden edge. The auto split option makes sure everything resplits correctly if the layout changes. Then I'll push every split line down by 125% on the y-axis using set. This tucks them completely below their mask, invisible to the user. When we animate y back to 0 later, they'll slide up into view one by one. Now we'll build the actual timeline. I'll create a new GSAP timeline with a 1-second delay. This gives the page a brief pause before anything starts moving. The first tween targets the preloader bar. It scales from 0 to full width using the glide ease, growing smoothly from left to right. Once that animation completes, I'll use an onComplete callback to flip the transform origin over to the right side. This is a small but important detail. It sets up the next animation to shrink the bar in the opposite direction. Then the second tween scales the bar back down to 0, this time using the hop ease. Since we just flipped the transform origin, the bar now shrinks from right to left, giving it that clean sweep across effect where it enters from one side and exits from the other. Next, I'll animate the preloader overlay itself. The clip path collapses from a full rectangle down to a flat line at the top, essentially wiping the dark curtain upward of the screen. I'll offset this slightly so it overlaps with the tail end of the bar animation, keeping the transition seamless rather than waiting for one to fully finish before the next one starts. Then I'll loop through each intro image and add it to the timeline. Each one slides from its off-screen position to its centered position, the value we stored in the data set earlier. I'll stagger each one with a tiny offset so they don't all move at the exact same time. This gives the entrance a cascading feel, like the images are chasing each other across the screen. Now comes the spread. I'll target the first 2 images and send them flying off to the left, then target the last 2 and send them off to the right. Both tweens share the same label, so they fire at the exact same time. The outer images peel away simultaneously, leaving only the middle one behind. At the same time, I'll animate the hero image, the middle one. It scales back up to full size. Its exposition resets to 0, the rotation straightens out, and the border radius drops to 0. This is the moment it goes from a small tilted card to a full bleed background image filling the entire hero section. Then the text reveals. First, the nav lines slide up into view with a stagger, so each link appears one after the other. The hero header lines start animating at the same time as the nav, creating a synchronized entrance across the top of the page. Then the social lines follow, with a slight offset, coming in just a beat later, so the eye has time to register the headline first. And that's a wrap. A fully sequenced intro animation built entirely on a single GSAP timeline, preloader sweep, overlay wipe, image cascade, spread, full bleed reveal, and staggered text entrances all chained together. Hope you found the video helpful. See you in the next one.